Am I recording? Okay. So, I just got out of the shower and today is Saturday. Um I think it's September 20. It's been 3 days since um the last time I heard from her, and I made a mistake. I messaged her. But I don't want to blame myself for messaging her. I guess a part of me just wants a closure. Sometimes I think sometimes, not all things need closure. I guess a part of me just wants to explain how I was feeling at the moment, and I guess I just wanted to apologize for how I treated her, and I just felt like I had to apologize. I feel guilty for letting her go through that, and before we even started talking, I already told her that, hey, I have emotional issues, and I am emotionally immature. I am aware of that, but yet, you know, I still went through that. I still made her go through that, which is the thing that hurts me even more, or I think the part that weighs more, is that she was willing to go through that. She's, she managed to be patient with me for months, and she was dealing with all these kinds of bullshit, and she had to go through me, and I admired her for that. I think that's the reason why I liked her the most, or at least the reason why I liked her, is because she was able to not only understand me in a short amount of time, but she was patient with me. But ultimately, people have limits, which I went over that limit, and I did told her on my message that unfortunately I realized things way too late. I had those thoughts already. I was figuring things out, but it was too late. I think the biggest lesson here is that I should know that everyone is just human. Every individual has their own feelings, and I should be respecting of that, including myself. Because, like I've said before, I wasn't able to respect her boundaries. I wasn't able to respect whatever she wants me to respect. And that took a toll on her. And I was anxious and doubtful, and the dynamic was unhealthy from the beginning. And I myself doesn't even know how to set boundaries for myself. I've always been a people pleaser, and saying no is difficult for me. And now I think I realize that maybe I should start setting boundaries for myself as well. Saying no consciously, even if it's hard to, and ending relationships when I feel like it's not healthy for me anymore. Because, I tend to stick to relationships regardless of how toxic it is. I always want to make things work between two people. And at first that might sound great. Hey, you're fighting for it. You love that person. You love your friends. You love your family. But I think the thing is, regardless if you know if you love them, then it should be it shouldn't be too hard for you to enforce those boundaries, because I think about it. Me and my friends, my closest friends, when I say no, hey, I don't want to play a game tonight. I feel tired. They don't force me to, or if they do, at least they, you know, just like when we're playing, and then I say, hey, I'm gonna go to bed, and then they make me want to play one more game. I think that's okay. But when I say that, hey, I'm really tired, I don't want to play today. I don't feel so well. They respect those boundaries, and it's not difficult for me to enforce those. It's not difficult for me to say no. And but with other people, I find it so hard, and I find it forced that, hey, I don't think that I should explain twice. But here I am, you're making me explain things twice. And so I really hate to explain this to you, but I think that you should learn. And that's what she made me feel. And that's what she made me realize, that you're shit at respecting boundaries, because you're shit at enforcing one for your own. I did tell her that I'm going to take care of myself. Even if days are going to be longer, hours are longer, days are emptier, weeks, months will pass by. I try myself not to think that I've lost someone, because at first, in the first place, she wasn't even mine to begin with. But, the what ifs and what could have been. But whenever those thoughts arise, that, you know, I think about, hey, the possibilities, that what if we just got together, and what if, she were mine, and all these fantasies popped up in my head. I think about, that's not her. That's the idea I had of her, because I was obsessed. I was infatuated with her. And it does help a little bit to think about that it's not her, it's my idea of her. And that same idea is the every idea that I have with every woman that I encounter. For clarity, I meant romantically. And with all these things, these lessons that she taught me, and the realizations, and the self-awareness begins with all my traumas, and from my childhood experiences. I think I'm getting a better grip of myself, and learning that I have to pause for a while, because the best thing that I can do, like I said, is to not hurt other people by becoming a better version of myself. And I try my best to think that whatever idea I had of her, whatever fantasies, whatever what ifs, we haven't, spent much time together. We're not, there were never us to begin with. And so she was right that I was obsessed. But I don't blame myself for being obsessed. There were reasons. I had my own reasons unconsciously, and I do not defend those. It's just that I felt lonely. And to find someone, that you think is gonna So that problem of loneliness, well, makes you excited. It makes your blood rushing. You want to pursue something, and really, I haven't found my purpose. So whenever I find a new woman, I just go all out, and they literally become my world, which is wrong because there's so much more to live for than just women, you know. And I'm not saying this because I've never had a relationship with a girl. I never had a girlfriend. I'm saying this because I think that God is fulfilling the purpose of. Well, I said this about a decade ago. I said, God, if I'm gonna have a relationship, I want it to be the first and the last, which feels like it's becoming true enough because every relationship, or at least every girl that I liked, has something to do with myself, something to do for me to fix. And it's not easy to admit, man, but I have to own my shortcomings because at the end of the day, this is for the woman that I'm gonna take care of for the rest of my life. I'm gonna make her feel that she is secure and all of the things that will make a great father, that will make a great partner, or rather the other way around. Partner first, then father. I'm thinking way ahead, you know. But you get the point. It's God saying, I don't want you to hurt other people. And I value that as well. I don't want to hurt other people. And that should be the way that I should have think when, I was engaging with her. I told her the first week, hey, I have emotional traumas and I am emotionally immature, and I don't want you to go through that. Yet I still did. But ultimately, I'm still thankful that she pointed out all the things that I am lacking of. And I truly value her for that because no one was able to explain those things to me before. And all I asked was, someone please explain me where I went wrong. And she did just that. That's why I'm so thankful. Of course, I still feel like shit, but I kept myself busy today enough. And I've done not so much, but at least it took something off of my list. I still have a lot to do. Midterm exams are coming, and I feel shit. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like doing anything. But I let myself feel this way, regardless of the outcome, because I know it's not gonna be easy. There are days that I'm still gonna cry. There are days that I'm still gonna be sad and gloomy because it's really hard to climb up again when when you think you finally found something worth fighting for, and then bam, kablam, it's all gone in one moment. You found something, and then it, God takes it away from you for good reasons. I know that someday it will get easier, and I just have to go through one day at a time. I hope to get back my spirits, but right now I just don't feel so well. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm thinking maybe, this is the end of this term. I'm gonna fail my exams because I don't feel like reviewing, and even if I review, I still have failing grades because engineering is difficult, and I've told my dad about this as well, but I didn't exactly say that I had a problem because I'm afraid that he will say, "Hey, my son is weak," that he can't get a girl because he had toxic traits, toxic personality. He just overdone things, pushed the girl away. I'm sorry, I'm not like that. I was never taught how to do things, and even if you say, "Hey, it's not gonna be something that we teach you," not all people are the same. Some may learn this too early, some may wait and may learn this way too far ahead of their life, and I think I'm just right in the middle. Some people grow into man child, and I'm only a young adult trying to figure out what the fuck have I done wrong. There's still more, not just only relationships, but career as well. Right now, I am hyper focused in my engineering degree, and even if it's hard and I have failing grades, I am still willing to go through the hardship, and I know that I just have to get through this season, pick myself back up again, and hopefully study way better. It's hard. Everything is hard. But I promised. But every woman that I have met, that I've liked before, I've promised them, don't worry about me. I am going to take care of myself. And I did just that. I believe in myself because with every woman that I've gone through, I did really take care of myself. I've became better, and I myself is a testament that, and I believe myself that I will not fail at this one. That I know how to take care of myself better. I just have to go through this season. I've been here before. I know this is a familiar feeling. But this time it's more bearable because instead of thinking all my fantasies, I started to realize the good things that have happened and the lessons that I should learn. And maybe somewhere along the way I realized that there wasn't even us to begin with, so why would I spend my time crying over someone? But I'd also answer that it's because I did care. At some point, I did care. And when you care for someone and when you care for something and you lost it, you would cry. You would cry, you would grieve, you would feel so down. But I think it's time to get comfortable with pain, comfortable with uncertainty and the loss and the abandonment. It's natural. I guess that's one thing that I was too afraid. I feared so much that the person that I like will leave me, that a person that I cared so much about will leave me and abandon me. And so I've done things, so many things. I've worked hard and put some effort to make sure that they don't leave me. You want to know why? Because when my mom left my dad, I was powerless. I couldn't do anything, and I could only cry my heart out. I was powerless. And now, when I get the chance, whenever I meet people that I really like, that I really care about, I do everything. It's just sometimes I can't understand things, you know? If you're overdoing anything, if you're overdoing something for a person, you end up pushing them away instead of pulling them towards you. It's weird that that's how the world works. But when you're in my position, when you're in my feet, or my shoes, rather, sometimes I wish that it didn't happen. But I think everything will be better now because I realized where all of this overdoing things came from. I realized where these people pleasing traits come from. I realize where everything comes from now. And I think it is time for me to do my due diligence to study, research, and hopefully fix these things that made me toxic in the first place. And hopefully, for the next woman, for the next relationships, God knows if romantic or not, I hope that I don't push people away. I kept her last message as a reminder on my phone, as a reminder that these are the things that went wrong. And hopefully, I'll be able to fix it. I think that's all for today, man. I think I've cried enough. Yeah, I'm sorry for that.